I keep hitting the stop recording button. Anyways, I love this dude. I'm going to show him in a second.
Being the closest presidential
That's
election
not
in the
true,
21st
and he proved
century.
it.
Right.
This
So
dude
we
proved
already
it.
have that clip. We already blew that apart. So let's move on to the next round.
And you did. And you did. Go watch his video. I'm going to include it in the link. That dude basically went to Gronk. And she said it was the closest in 21st history. 21st century. He went back. She is number 7. 7. Not the closest. Like, she is so fucking stupid. Anyway.
Lies, because that was her answer last night. This morning, her answer changed. Specifically with regard to Joe Biden's ability to run for office and be president, and what she witnessed with regard to his decline. Check this whopper of a lie out.
My concern about him running for re-election was completely separate from my admiration and knowledge about his capacity to serve as president of the United States, which was consistent and never wavered.
Well, when we sit here, as we sit here today, do you think he would have been up for running the country for 4 more years?
Here's the distinction that I make. It's and having had the experience myself, it is one thing to have the capacity to govern. It is another thing to go through an election for president of the United States. So you are an athlete, you may appreciate this kind of metaphor. Running for president of the United States is like being in a marathon at a sprinter's pace with people throwing tomatoes at you every step you take. It is not for the lighthearted. It takes an incredible amount of endurance and stamina. And can you imagine doing it while you are also carrying literally the weight of the world as being president of the United States? So the distinction I make is about capacity to be president and what that election would require in that campaign, especially running against Donald Trump.
Okay, so let me just be clear as to what she just said, because that was kind of word salady, but I picked it up. It's harder to run for president than it is to be president. Running for president, you got to have a lot of stamina. You have to have energy. You got to be on your game. You have to be sharp as a tack. You got to be able to shift on the fly and be able to respond to things in real time. Come on. Being president, please. Hey, you're pretty much on autopilot. You can use the auto pen. You can just show up. They'll put everything on note cards in front of you. You never get challenged. The media never asks you questions. You can decide not to have any press conferences or even put yourself in a position where you have to answer any questions. Being president is a cakewalk. Running for president, now that's tough.
That's exactly what she said.
I mean,
Exactly it.
I would think that the interviewer on ABC News might want to challenge that notion
Nope.
and press her on it. But of course,
That's
the
her
terms
homie.
of the conditions under which ABC News got this really important interview was that only the former football player could ask questions. The guy who spent his formative years getting hit in the head.
Mm-hmm.
These things don't
We
happen
love
by
Michael
accident.
Strahan. He's making a point.
Kamala Harris has also started to do the podcast circuit to sell her book. She's just
the fucking
that
worst.
desperate. It's almost like she knows she's not going to get another job.
Obviously.
So she's got to make her money while she
Can't
can.
fuck her way into it anymore.
And, well, did I mention word salad?
That day was a difficult day.
Yo.
And in
wasted.
many ways,
I'm gonna just say it because my whole YouTube is littered with it. It's not a fucking secret. I had a big problem with drugs. Okay, I'm a chief. Like I'm on a few gummies right now. You know what I mean? But not drugs. That's different. I'm done with that. I was addicted to opiates and benzodiazepines. This woman is a. I keep doing that. You know what I mean? This woman is basically a cross between alcohol and benzos. Okay. Opiates. Everybody and their mother seems to be on opiates. Not a good thing. Just is. Benzos. Benzos are far. I would have never known how big a problem benzos were until I did them. And then I figured out, holy shit, this is a real fucking problem. And now we have this. So this is just me spectating and being a citizen over here. Citizen journalist, if you will. But my experience, and there's videos of me high as a fucking kite because I never took them down. My entire life is online. So if you see me 8 years ago in a video looking something like this, it's because I was high as fuck on 20s and some Xanax.
You know, after the election, I hadn't experienced the kind of pain I felt. The only thing I could really compare it to was when my mother died. And I was grieving for our country because I knew in my heart what this was going to mean and how it was going to affect so many people in a harmful way.
She's the worst.
But that day also, in so many ways, renewed my sense of understanding that the fight sometimes takes a while and we cannot take ourselves out of it. Let's everybody rest, everyone heal, take your time, be kind to yourself, but don't take yourself out the fight. Because we cannot let anyone, any election, any circumstance take away our spirit and our faith and our belief in knowing how we make a difference. And that difference, the difference we make may be that, it's about that child who is the neighbor's child who just looks up to you for something.
Could you imagine listening to this for 4 fucking years? 4. I said it to my wife, I said it to my son, I said it to everybody who will listen. Donald Trump winning, but nay, her losing was the pivotal point in American history. This will be taught in 50 to 100 years of how pivotal this election was because of this dumb bitch right here. Could you imagine having to listen to this? Like, we're doing it now because it's fucking hilarious, you know what I mean? And we're just like, oh, LOL, that would have been... No, that would have been a gargantuan mistake. We as a country would have... Do we think it's bad now? We do. We do think it's bad. We are Charlie, you know what I mean? I'm with you. This bitch would have been 1,000 times worse.
It may be, the Sunday school class that you teach. It may be a friend who is in their time of need or a family member. It may be somebody who is running for office right now for local, state, or federal office. But do not let us not take ourselves out of the fight because we are in it for righteous reasons.
Ooh.
That, my friends, is the word salad that we all knew and loved during the campaign, awesome. And honestly, part of me kind of missed.
I love this channel. Yeah, Larry Town
Two
Hall.
quick observations.
So
the first, we've all used Zoom before, right?
Yeah.
I think we're all pretty familiar with it. When you connect to a Zoom call,
openly gay, everything
like then recorded for a podcast.
Nothing wrong with gay folks at all.
When you enter the room, you have to type in your name, right? And
the whole thing opened with Kamila's dumbass basically telling Rachel Maddow, well, I couldn't pick Pete Buttigieg because he was gay, and a gay dude wouldn't, like, the people weren't ready for a gay dude. She said that to Rachel Maddow, and Rachel Maddow said, what?
And that's what shows up underneath your video screen. So she purposely decided to identify herself as VP Harris. You notice that? It's kind of weird, right? Wouldn't you put Kamala Harris?
Right.
Or Kamala?
Right. Because you're not a VP.
I just find that fascinating.
Harris, right.
That when entering a
point,
Zoom chat for a podcast to sell your book, it's so precious to her to have that title in there. Don't you know who I am?
I would have noticed it. Good shit, man.
I don't think you'll be hearing VP Harris ever sort of throwing in a tagline and saying, but you can call me Kamala. No. You will refer to me as Madam Vice President.
Yo, real beans. She ain't never letting her go.
That's number one. Number two, I think that you would join me in watching all of these clips we've just enjoyed of Kamala Harris by taking a giant sigh of relief, reflecting on what our lives could have been like should things have gone a different direction.
You were absolutely
back in November.
correct. What did we just talk about?
But honestly, seeing all of this, it doesn't really hit home quite as hard as that feeling I felt while watching the Charlie Kirk Memorial on Sunday. Seeing our president, our vice president, and his cabinet
Right,
reflecting
the
on
real
Charlie
leaders,
Kirk's
right.
life and his faith and the gospel, that's when it really hit home about what kind of leadership we have right now
Yeah.
and
Agreed.
what kind of leadership we might have had. I'll give you the perfect example. Do you remember during the campaign, those 107 days, at a rally, when Kamala Harris started talking about abortion, killing babies in the womb, somebody in the crowd started heckling and they started shouting, "Christ is King. Christ is King." Do you remember this moment? And Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States, in responding to people proclaiming the gospel to her and to everyone in the room, replied like this.
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
There you go. By the way, I'm a staunch atheist. The only thing that makes me not a conservative is I don't believe in any of the religion. None of the religion. I'm an atheist. I'm a thoughtful atheist. 36 years. I've never been to church. I've spoken to a couple pastors every once in a while. I've had some really, really deep religious talks with folks. I have done my fair share. I've never read the Bible, so never read the Quran. But all I'm gonna say is I respect people. I respect, as long as you ain't coming at me on no bullshit, I respect it. And to be the president of the United States, of a, let's be honest, a Christian nation. People hate hearing that, but it is, right? Our Constitution is based on the Ten Commandments. I mean, it's almost linear how that. I'll stop. Just, you have to be able to talk to all of your people, and that means not alienate 30-40% of the voting percentage, probably way higher. More Christians vote than non, right? Religious folks have their shit together. They know what they're doing. And they typically are the ones going out to vote. So if you're at a fucking rally and somebody yells out, "Christ is King," and you say, sounds like you're at the wrong rally, you just denounced every Christian or anybody who believes Christ is King. Isn't that fucking hilarious?
No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Big laugh line.
LOL.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're Christians?
Right.
You believe in God? In the salvation of Jesus Christ? You don't belong here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want your kind.
Yeah.
That's the leader we might have had.
Yes.
And then you reflect on Sunday. And the president was great. And the vice president was great. And good God, Erica Kirk was amazing. But just for a quick moment, just for a quick dose of reality about who we have as our leaders in this nation right now at the highest levels of the Trump campaign, the Trump cabinet. Just as a quick reflection about what we might have had. What we did have during the Biden years versus what we have right now. This is your Secretary of State.
One of the things he wants us to take away from this, from all of this, is the following. His deep belief that we were all created, every single one of us, before the beginning of time, by the hands of the God of the universe, an all-powerful God, who loved us and created us for the purpose
Alright, see, I ain't about to do all that because I don't actually care. This is the one thing that I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay. Understand, but I'm okay. Either way, great video. Dude we just watched, really good. Give him a like, subscribe. Phenomenal stuff. And basically, we all think the same way. It's logic. Okay, it's common fucking sense. You go too far on the fringe, or too on the fringe, you're on the fringe. You have to stay in the 80. You have to. You go out to this far, you're too far out. You add violence to it, now you're a terrorist. That's how these things work. It's sad that people still don't understand that. Alright, so let's see what it says. Oh, the Kamila Harris. I'm gonna be doing this for a week. I'm just be going over all the bullshit Kamala stuff. But what you're seeing is all the smaller creators are doing what I'm doing. It's saying it for what it is, calling it for what it is. But anybody who's interviewing her, aka your Michael Strahans, the dude works for Disney. Disney is like the CEO of Disney, Bob, wanted to run for president. Like, this dude's got political aspirations. Anything on Disney is going to be for the left. We have to know that. You just have to. And if you don't know that, welcome to the world. And I'm not saying go gobble fox, news gobbledygook. I'm just saying ground news. That's a good one. Very, very even. You get both sides. I think we're good for that one. That was a good. That dude hit the nail on the head. Kamala is a dumb bitch, and we're all the better for it.